I was 3 seconds from passing out when a stranger broke my ex's arm like a twig. Then he saw my mother's bracelet and his voice cracked. Where did you get that? I should have run, but I'd spent my whole career hunting the Shadow, Seoul's most dangerous crime lord. And I just found him. He was my father. The crystal chandeliers of the Grand Meridian Ballroom cast shadows that danced like ghosts across marble floors. I adjusted my black Valentino gown, fingers brushing against the small recording device hidden in my clutch. 3 months of investigation led me here, to this charity gala where Seoul's elite laundered blood money through champagne toasts and silent auctions. My target, the Shadow, Korea's most elusive crime lord. No one knew his face, no one lived to testify, but I would. I'm Ava Chen, senior prosecutor, and tonight I'd finally... Ava, that voice turned my blood to ice. Derek. My ex-boyfriend stood 3 feet away, scotch in hand, eyes already glazed with that familiar, dangerous shine. 6 months since the restraining order, 6 months of looking over my shoulder. You look stunning, he slurred, stepping closer. Just like old times. Stay away from me. My hand moved to my phone. Or what? You'll call your cop friends? He laughed, bitter and sharp. I just want to talk, baby. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. Across the ballroom, through the crowd of silk and diamonds, I felt it. Eyes on me. A man stood near the bar. Tall, Korean, maybe late 40s. Impeccable black Tom Ford suit. Hair silver at the temples. He wasn't looking at the mayor giving his speech. He wasn't networking. He was watching Derek watch me. Something about his posture, perfectly still, hands loose at his sides, reminded me of a predator measuring distance before the kill. Derek's hand clamped around my wrist. I said we need to talk. Let go. Now, Ava. He pulled me toward the coat room. I tried to dig my heels in, but he was stronger. Always stronger. The man at the bar set down his glass and started walking. Have you ever felt trapped at a party by someone from your past? Drop your story in the comments. Derek slammed the coat room door behind us. The music from the ballroom muffled into a distant hum. You think you can just ignore me? His breath reeked of whiskey and rage. Block my number? Get a restraining order like I'm some kind of criminal? You put me in the hospital, Derek. I was drunk. I apologized. His hand shot to my throat, slamming me against the wall. Coats tumbled around us. You made me look weak. Everyone thinks I'm some abuser when all I did was love you too much. I clawed at his fingers. Couldn't breathe. Vision blurring. The door opened. The man from the bar stood in the doorway, perfectly calm. He didn't rush, didn't shout, just looked at Derek's hand on my throat with the cold assessment of someone calculating exactly how many bones he was about to break. Then his hands moved to his cufflinks. Click, click. He removed them slowly, deliberately, rolled his sleeves to his forearms with the precision of a surgeon preparing for an operation. Let her go. His voice was quiet, accented, final. Derek's grip loosened just enough for me to gasp air. Who the hell? The man moved. One moment Derek was holding me. The next he was on the floor, arm twisted at an unnatural angle, screaming. I stumbled backward, hitting the wall. The man knelt beside Derek, applying pressure that made him whimper. That's when his eyes found mine and stopped. Really stopped. His expression cracked, just for a second. Something like recognition, like pain. His gaze dropped to my wrist. To the silver bracelet I never took off. The one with the tiny engraved butterfly, my mother's bracelet. Where did you get that? His voice shook. I couldn't answer, because I'd just seen his left hand, the same butterfly tattooed on his ring finger. Answer me. He stood, releasing Derek, who scrambled away whimpering. That bracelet, where? My mother gave it to me. My voice barely worked. Before she died. Something shattered in his eyes. What was her name? Why would I... What was her name? Min Jun, I shouted back. Her name was Chen Min Jun. He staggered backward like I'd shot him. Derek used the distraction to run, throwing open the door. You're both crazy. He vanished into the hallway. I should have chased him, should have called security. But I couldn't move because the stranger was staring at me like he'd seen a ghost. You're. You can't be. He reached toward my face, then stopped himself. The birthmark. Do you have a birthmark? Small. Behind your left ear. My hand flew to the spot instinctively. How do you know that? Because I kissed it every night before you went to sleep. His voice broke. Before I left? Before I destroyed everything. The room tilted. No, my father died when I was 5. My mother said she lied to protect you. He pulled out his wallet with shaking hands. Inside, a photo. Faded, worn at the edges. A young Korean man holding a little girl. She was laughing, wearing the butterfly bracelet, wearing my face. My name is Jae-ha, he whispered, and I am so sorry, Ava. I ran, past the coats, through the ballroom, past the champagne and the people who didn't matter. My heels clicked against marble as tears blurred my vision. Behind me, I heard him call my name, my father's voice, a voice I'd forgotten I remembered. The fire alarm shattered the gala's elegance. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm. We have a security situation. No one leaves until police arrive. I froze at the exit. Behind me, Jae-ha stood 10 feet away, breathing hard from chasing me. Ava, please, don't. I held up my hand. Don't say my name like you have the right. Security guards ushered everyone into designated rooms. The library, the conservatory, small groups for questioning. My luck? They pushed Jae-ha and me into the private library. Together. The door clicked shut, locked from outside. We stood on opposite sides of the room, a lawyer and a ghost. There's been a murder, I said, forcing myself into prosecutor mode. Someone died here tonight, and you... I pointed at him. You're exactly the kind of man who'd know why. I didn't kill anyone. But you've killed before. Not a question, he didn't deny it. I laughed bitterly. My father, the man my mother cried over for years, the man she said was a good person who died too young. I stepped closer. You're him? You're the good man? I never said I was good. Then what are you? Trying to keep you alive. He moved to the window, checking something outside. Derek didn't come here alone tonight. The men he works for, they're looking for me. And now they've seen you with me. I don't need your protection. You're wearing your mother's bracelet at a criminal gala while investigating money laundering. He turned. You're not just my daughter, you're a prosecutor. They'll torture you for information about your cases, then kill you for knowing my face. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. We have Derek. Tell the shadow we want the girl. He knows which one. I showed him the text. Jae-ha's jaw clenched. They're forcing my hand. Who are they? The Jade Serpent Syndicate. Your ex owed them money, gambling debts. When he couldn't pay, he offered them something else. His eyes met mine. Information about you. Derek doesn't know anything about my cases. He knows you're investigating the shadow. Jae-ha's voice went quiet. He knows because I am the shadow, Ava. The words hung between us like poison. I couldn't finish. Everything you've been hunting, everything you've sworn to destroy. He stepped closer. I left you and your mother 25 years ago because men like the Jade Serpent killed my brother's family. I watched my niece. She was 3. His voice cracked. I couldn't let that happen to you. So you just disappeared? I made a deal. I'd join them, work my way up, and they'd never touch you. I became what I hated to keep you safe. Your mother knew. She agreed. We faked my death. She cried every night. I know. He pulled out his phone, hands trembling. Showed me a folder, hundreds of photos. Me at graduation, me at law school, me getting promoted. I've watched you become everything I couldn't be. Good. Just clean. Tears burned my eyes. You don't get to be proud of me. I know. You don't get to claim me after 25 years. I know, Ava. I know. His voice shattered. But tonight, they will kill you to hurt me. So I'm asking. No, I'm begging. Let me save you one last time. Then I'll disappear again, forever. I looked at the man who was my father, the monster who loved me. What do we do? Hours passed. The library grew cold. Jeha gave me his jacket without asking. It smelled like cedar and something I couldn't name. Something that felt like a memory I shouldn't have. You used to have nightmares, he said quietly. About a red door. You'd wake up screaming and I'd hold you until you fell back asleep singing the butterfly song. The words escaped before I could stop them. I still remember the melody, but I never knew why. Because I sang it every night. He smiled, sad and broken. Your mother said you forgot me. I hoped you had. It would have been easier. It wasn't easier. I pulled the jacket tighter. Do you know what it's like growing up knowing your father loved you enough to die, but not enough to stay? I stayed in every way that mattered. He pulled out an envelope from his inner pocket. Your law school tuition, anonymous donor. Your apartment when you graduated, anonymous investor. Every case you won, I made sure the witnesses felt safe enough to testify. I've been there, Ava, in every shadow. I took the envelope. Inside, letters, dozens of them, all addressed to me, none ever sent. Dear Ava, today, you turned 6. I watched you blow out your candles from across the street. Dear Ava, you lost your first case. I saw you cry in your car for 20 minutes. I wanted to tell you that failure makes you sharper. My hands shook. Why didn't you send them? Because I didn't deserve your forgiveness. You still don't. I looked up at him through tears. But I need to know, if you could go back, would you choose differently? Every single day, I choose wrong to keep you alive. I'd do it again. The door exploded inward. Derek stood there, flanked by 4 armed men. His arm was in a sling, the one Jeha had broken. His smile was vicious. Touching reunion. He stepped inside. But it's time to go, Ava. Jeha moved in front of me. You don't want to do this. Oh, I really do. Derek nodded to his men. See, the Jade Serpents made me a deal. Deliver the Shadow's weakness, and my debts are cleared. Guess what? His weakness just happens to be my ex-girlfriend. Ava, stay behind. Me. Jeha's voice was deadly calm. Actually, one of the men said, stepping forward, we have a better idea. He tossed a file at my feet. Photos spilled out. Jeha meeting with someone. Papers exchanged. Money transferred. My blood went cold. Your loving father? Derek laughed. He's been setting you up for 3 months, Ava. Every case you investigated, every witness you interviewed, he fed them to you. Made you think you were hunting him when really you were bait. He was using you to draw out the Jade Serpents so he could eliminate his competition. I looked at Jeha. Tell me it's not true. His silence was deafening. You... My voice broke. You used me? Ava, I can explain. You made me believe... I couldn't breathe. Tonight, the coat room, the letters, all of it was just... No. He reached for me. That was real. Everything I said was, you're exactly what I spent my career fighting. I stepped away from him, toward Derek. A liar, a manipulator, a man who destroys everything he touches. Ava, please. I looked at my father with all the hatred 25 years of abandonment could forge. You're dead to me. Derek's smile widened. Take her. They separated us. Me in a basement, concrete, cold. Hands zip-tied behind my back. Jeha somewhere above. I could hear him fighting, shouting my name. Derek crouched in front of me. You know what's funny? I never loved you. I just knew you'd be worth something someday. And look. He gestured around. I was right. The police know I'm here. Do they? He pulled out my phone. Because all your texts say you left early with a headache. Your last location ping was your apartment. As far as anyone knows, Senior Prosecutor Chen went home safe and sound. Footsteps above, then silence. Terrible silence. Derek stood. Looks like Daddy's done fighting. Now we wait for the serpents to decide what to do with you both. He left me in the dark. I closed my eyes, thought about the letters, the photos. 25 years of a father watching from shadows. Every single day I choose wrong to keep you alive. The file, the setup, using me as bait. But the coat room, the way his voice broke when he saw my bracelet. That wasn't fake, unless everything was a lie. Unless... The door opened. A different man. Jade serpent tattoo on his neck. Your father made an offer. He cut my zip ties. He'll give us his entire network, every asset, every contact, every piece of his empire. In exchange, you walk out of here breathing. And him? He didn't negotiate for himself. My throat tightened. What? He's upstairs signing everything over. When he's done, we'll execute him. You'll go free. Those were his terms. The man studied me. He said to tell you, some choices aren't wrong if they save the right person. I found him in the main room, on his knees, hands behind his head, gun to his temple. Ava, no. Jaehae's eyes went wide when he saw me. I told them you'd leave. I'm not leaving, without you. I looked at the serpent leader. You want his empire? Fine, but I'm a senior prosecutor. I have evidence on every criminal organization in Seoul. Names, dates, transactions, everything. I met his eyes. Let him go and I'll bury it. All of it. You'll never see a courtroom. You'd throw away your career? I'd throw away everything. I looked at my father. Because he did it first. For me. The leader considered, then lowered his gun. You have 24 hours. Both of you disappear. If I see either of your faces again, the deal's off. They let us go. We walked out into the dawn, bruised, bleeding, alive. You shouldn't have come back, Jaeha said quietly. You shouldn't have left the first time. I stopped walking, but you did. And I survived. And now we get to choose different. He turned to me, this man who was my father. What are you saying? I'm saying I've spent 25 years hating you for choosing my safety over my happiness. Tears slipped down my face. Don't make me spend the next 25 hating myself for doing the same thing. He pulled me into his arms, finally, after a lifetime. I'm so sorry, he whispered into my hair. I know. I held on tight. But we're alive. We're together. And for the first time, you don't have to watch me from the shadows. He kissed my forehead. Butterfly. 25 years. And I finally came home. Would you forgive a parent who abandoned you to keep you safe? Drop yes or no in the comments and tell us your location. Let's see what the world thinks. Part 2 drops next week when Ava and Jaeha's past comes hunting for them one final time. Subscribe so you don't miss it.